Thanks, Ben, I think. Good evening, everyone. As Ben said, I'm Guy from Earlytrade, and this evening I'm here to share with you how technology is changing the way companies manage their working capital. Businesses are like farms. They grow crops or breed cattle, and to make these products, they need water. The same way businesses need cash flow. Your farm can go a while without water, but if it doesn't get it eventually, your farm will die from drought. It's the exact same for businesses when it comes to cash flow. The longer a business goes without cash flow, the worse off its chances become. And the same way Australian farmers have been facing the worst drought in 100 years, Australian businesses have been facing a drought of their own. Last year, 1 in 4 Australian businesses experienced an average payment delay of between 1 to 2 months. This made Australia the latest paying country in the world. See, there we are at the bottom, just below South Africa and Mexico. Now, this late payment culture has created an enormous demand for short-term funding, and this is where our Aussie businesses have been finding that funding. The two things these products have in common is they're all debt-based and they all take control away from businesses. Earlytrade does the exact opposite. We specialise in running early payment programs for companies and their suppliers. These programs rely on zero debt, create maximum flexibility, and improve working capital for both parties. Suppliers get better liquidity through early payments, and companies get higher margins through discounts. And all of a sudden, we now live in a world where businesses don't need factoring, or bank loans, or supply chain finance. We've been running early payment programs since 2016, and we're becoming pretty good at it. Across a network of 26,000 suppliers, we've freed up 2.5 million days for businesses waiting for payment and processed over $11 billion of contractually agreed trade volume. The sweet spot for Earlytrade is the suppliers in the gap in your supply chain. So if you look at a typical supply chain, like the one on the screen, large suppliers have access to institutional banking, whereas the smaller suppliers use expensive solutions like factoring and credit cards. But the majority of your suppliers in the gap are left underserviced and unaddressed until now. But it's not just the gap. It's not just about the gap. The scalable nature of the Earlytrade model means all suppliers can realise significant value, and here's why. The key to running a scalable early payment program is our 4-pillar methodology. Number 1, supplier onboarding must be done using sophisticated enablement processes that remove the traditional limitations of size and geography. Secondly, legal framework. You need simplified supplier agreements that remove barriers to participation in the supply chain. And we deliver what we call one-click onboarding. Thirdly, your program has to create flexibility for its users and enabling those users to change parameters in the marketplace that suit them dynamically ensures this flexibility is created. And last but not least, technology. The network effects of our single integrated platform mean that suppliers get maximum value out of having all their corporate customers offering early payment. And likewise, corporate customers coming on board get to benefit from our existing supplier network, the largest in Australia and New Zealand. So, what's been achieved with Qantas? For the last 12 weeks, we've been working with Qantas to explore one question. Will Earlytrade work for them? Now, if you're a corporate sitting in the audience wondering the same thing, we can explore these steps with you as well, so follow along. We begin by doing deep analysis of your supply chain. We then couple this with historical trading performance to project the financial value. For Qantas, even conservative estimates were significant. After value, we then scope implementation together. Every corporate is unique, and Earlytrade's platform can integrate with any accounting system in the world. Once this is done, we assess reputation. Corporates need to ask themselves, do they value their suppliers enough to commit to offering them early payment for the long term? If the answer is yes, we launch an early payment market for you. Now today, I'm very pleased to share with you that Qantas and Earlytrade are nearing the end of this process and commercial discussions remain ongoing. So I'd like to thank the very talented internal working team at Qantas who's still driving this initiative home with us, and our friends at Slingshot. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Earlytrade, proudly changing the way Aussie businesses get paid. Thank you.